Okay, guys. Thank you so much. I'm live here today at Kikapi Games YouTube channel because finally I was able to grab and get hold of one of the founders of ReadON. It's one of the NFT projects that I've been trying for a while since the alpha stage. And I think for me, the best way to present the actual project is to have a quick interview with one of the founders or any of the team from that specific project. So, guys, I want to hand back to you to Mr. Troy to just quickly give a brief introduction about himself and how is he related to this project called ReadON. Yeah, go ahead, Troy.
Hi everyone, I'm Troy here, the co-founder of ReadON. Before ReadON, I was a software engineer in Bay Area. I graduated in CMU, United States, and after that, I work in a lot of companies in the Bay Area for like 5 years. I work at LinkedIn, I work at Pinterest. After that, I went back to China and work at the TikTok, at the Chinese version of TikTok. But I was working as the ads part, advertisement part for the TikTok. And yeah, and after that, I work. I have a friend who actually runs the largest read to earn, but it was actually a Web2 app. It was called like, 趣头条 in China. It has 30
Mhm.
million daily active users at its peak, so it's really large in
Mhm.
China. Yeah, but it
Mhm.
was a Web2 version. And we come together and saying, hey, why we cannot do it in Web3? And yeah, this is where we are, Rashan. This is the first idea. Well, we have a very successful experience, like we would do reach to earn in Web2, and a lot of Chinese
Mhm.
users like it. And there are some
Mhm.
copycats, or some people who actually copy this business mode and like put into the
Yes.
other parts of the world, like in other countries, and it also works because they also need like the native content for that. So I think it's a business model that actually should work. Like people will love to read content while getting some like extra like cash to earn, and this business model work. And even it should works better in Web3 because like the core idea of the Web2 version of read to earn is like the company send a partial of the income from the advertisement to the users. But in the but in the Webster, we could do it in a different way. We can involve like the NFT system. We can involve like the read to earn, the community, the voting on the quality of the content, a lot of that, and as well as the ads, like as well as the income from the external project who want to do promotions within the app. So all of this would
Mm.
make sense for like we can build like a Web3 version of the read to earn, and it's actually well it has the chance to become a really large app, have a lot of users interest into that, make something really useful, and that's why we come
Yeah.
up with the idea we really don't, and we want this is where we are right now.
Yeah, sure, sure. So, actually, you've covered my next question already, but just quickly, what inspires you for having this concept? How did you like initially conceptualize the project, like Read to Earn?
Yeah. So after talking about like there are actually 2 points when we know this is a good time to do that. First is our past experience in the reach earning Web2. There's the second one is the other co-founder of ReadOn. He's very familiar, has a great friend of the founder of the Step In. I think a lot of people actually know that,
Ah,
and
yeah, yes,
it's a
yes.
walk to earn or fitness to earn project. And
Mm-hmm.
we have to talk with the team and understand what they're doing at a very early stage when the product started, and we watch along their growth, and they're really successful right now, and a lot of people still
Mm-hmm.
are using that, and also develop other projects based on what they have right now. And I think that's the right path. Like we should link the to earn parts to an activity that people were normally do every day, and they
Mm-hmm.
believe is good to do, but they were need a little bit of push to do it. That was saying, hey, this
Yes.
actually means like this is actually a great showcase that the read to earn part for us where we will work in Web3. So that's the two
Mm-hmm.
things that come together. Say we should definitely do it.
Yeah, sure. So basically, when you come up with this idea, who comes into mind when you say read to earn? What's your basically target market?
Yeah, it's a very good question. Like, what we're saying first is we want to build community, community who loves to read the content. But I have my past experience. I know it's really difficult to do that, and you have to target a smaller concept, a smaller topic, smaller communities to make sure people understand your community. So let's say maybe read to earn is a great things to do, but if I never define what kind of the content will be shown in this community,
Mhm.
I don't have a great definition about what people were going to read here. It will not work.
Mhm.
It is very hard for the co-star problem of that. So one problem, one solution to do that is we have to define a very clear concept or very clear topic as the early phase of the community or very early phase of the app. That's what we're trying to do. For ReadON, we have like three phases or three stages for what kind of community or what kind of topics where we're going to cover. Yeah. So the first one
So
is
so basically, yeah. So yeah, go ahead.
yeah. So the first one is crypto native users. So we're going to cover the content mostly about the crypto, about Web3 project, about everything people were curious about in the Web3 crypto world. So we want to do a great app for people who are already the crypto native users. They just want to know more about it, or just maybe one of the best information channel to grab the information about the crypto. That will be the phase one. That's where the phase we are in right now. So you will see if you see the development about the ReadON. That's what we're doing right now. We have adding like we first adding the news, then we add the tweets, and all of this about different topics about Web3, about the crypto. At the phase one, and the phase two is like already like people. Phase two is very important for ReadON to grow. Is we want to be the go-to place for people who are curious about the crypto, who heard something about Web3 but actually don't know what it is.
Mhm. Okay.
We want to be the go-to place for this kind of people to be their first step into the Web3 world. So we were focused on tutorials like a search, the wiki page, all this kind of product features to make sure we are the best product for people who learn about Web3, who are curious and just want to know more about it. We want to be the first place, like people's first the first stop for people who shift from Web2 to Web3. That would be phase two. And for phase three, we have enough people, we have a large community, and we should have we should have a schema or we have a framework for people to propose new topics by themselves. And this actually is something we are doing already from day one. Is like we have designed a strategy for people to propose what kind of new topics should be there
Topics.
for ReadON, and that is what we were doing for the phase three.
Yeah, actually, it's good that you mentioned that there will be other topics that will be
Yeah.
introduced because obviously different people will have different type of readings that they want to do. But basically, just a follow up on that question. So,
Mhm.
is there a specific age where people can join this, or anyone who can already read, or is it you will base it again based on those three phases that you mentioned that there's a specific age that someone should use this app? Do you have any
That's a
specific
good
age in
question.
mind
I think
from
it's
20 or
about
something or
yeah, it's a good question. I think like mm, I think like for people who for the current content, I think it's about like 20 plus. Like for
all
people
right.
who already know something about the crypto, who want to
Mm,
learn more about crypto, that will be that I think this will cover both phase one and phase two. So I think it's like
mm,
the 20 plus. But there is one topic we were planning to add into the ReadON community, and it will be coming very soon. Is about in general games about GameFi, because I think like
mm,
there's a lot of overlaps about like in general the crypto, the Web3, and the games. I think the gaming or the GameFi is the next big thing for the application layer for the crypto technology, and more people
mm.
probably will get to know about Web3 based on because some of the games they're playing have their Web3 version of that, and so I think like gaming is a very important topic, and that's something we're going to cover in ReadON. So if so, maybe there's a lot of like younger people who are at their 12 or 15 or 16 or something like that. They will get to know about ReadON. because they play the games that we have featured in our app.
Okay, cool. So guys, as I share the screen, I'll be showing you the actual app, so you will have an idea of how it looks like as we throw more questions to Troy. So possibly the first question that I have regarding the app is it already available for both the iOS and Android users?
Yes, it's available for both platform, and we're going to have a web version like pretty coming pretty soon. It will not cover
Oh,
everything that
okay.
the app does because we think like we will focus on something which is a little bit harder to do it in the mobile app. Like right now, you can download
Mm,
it on the Apple Store or the Google Play. Like it should be available. We actually just released a new version today, and
mm,
for the web part, I can like have some teaser about what we're going to do. First one is the content creation. Like it's not
oh,
easy
okay.
for you to write things on the app. Sorry, in the mobile app, right? Right. Like most people still
Mm,
write longer items on the desktop on something like that. So the web
yeah, yeah.
version for like people the content creation parts. That is one thing.
Mm,
The second thing
oh,
is
okay.
about the assets management. Like right now, we provide
Mm,
a in-app wallet system, and but we doesn't
mhm,
provide a function for you to link your other kinds of like the your accounts. And for example, you
mm,
have your funds in the external like the wallet, like something like that. For example, like if you're early ReadON user, you probably have some reward, either SBT or tokens or NFT, whatever our community already sent to the early users. It's my OGs, right? A lot of people will have some
mm,
kinds of like the tokens or reward systems. They're actually stored in the other accounts, and not in the in-app wallet. So the web
mm,
version will enable users to link your accounts into one single account, into
mm,
your different like addresses into one single account. So everything you earn
mm.
from ReadON will count towards you. So that's something we're going to do. So the two things we'll focus on the web. First, the content creation. The second is around assets.
Okay. Yeah, actually, I'm about to ask about those stuff later on. But before we proceed, as I see, there's already, I think, Chinese and English readings on the app. Are you planning to add more languages in the future?
Yeah, it's a great question. Like we have four languages supported already: English, Chinese, Japanese, and Korean. That's the four
Ah,
languages
okay.
supported right now. We're going to
Mm,
support more. So based on our user growth, like right
mm,
now, the next two languages are in the queue. One is
mm,
the Russian. The other is Vietnam.
mm,
Russian and Vietnam
mm.
is the next two languages that we're going to support. Yeah, because
Yeah,
the
sure.
for the language actually a lot of work. We not only need to translate all the articles into different the into the new language. We also need to support the entire app experience. All the like the
Mhm.
all the tags like they should be translated to the corresponding languages. So there's actually a lot of work to do.
Yeah, sure, sure. Okay. And speaking of languages, because
Mhm.
I've been into different NFT project, and some of them are not have restriction in some specific countries like US or some other parts
Yes.
of the world. Does ReadOn has also restrictions in terms of the country boundaries for who wants to use it or not, or anyone can just download?
Right now, ReadON is available on all the marketplace on different countries on like both Apple Store and the Google Play. So we didn't have restrictions for that. And for the app is free to use. Like we don't have
Yep.
anything. But if you want to buy an NFT, right? Like I think this will depends on the policy of different countries. And but I think it's
Ah, okay.
relatively okay for us because we are not a sex, we're not even a dex, so we don't
Okay.
do the like the token transferring or minting that kind of thing for us. So we're more like an entity project. So we don't planning to add restrictions to the countries right now.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
but
Good, good.
it's
And
possible for some countries to ban us, right? It's highly possible. We
yes.
don't plan to ban any users from ourselves,
Yep.
but it's possible some country restrict us from like for example like China.
Sure.
for like
Sure.
Chinese people. Also, like we support Chinese languages, and we have a lot of like users are reading Chinese. Exactly, they
Mm.
need a VPN to access our app, but it's not like
Yeah,
something we
sure.
do on our end.
Okay, sure. And before going to the next question, I just reminded myself about the content creation that you said that will be a future part of the app. Does the content creation means if, say, for example, I'm a writer and I want to and I write something, I can share it there? Is that what the content creation means?
Yeah, so there are two kinds of content creation. First one is you already have a content. The content can be on different platform. You have your blog, right? You have your Medium, you have your Mimi Mirror page, you have all of that, and you want ReadOn to index your content. Maybe you distribute your content to the ReadOn community. So you just like share a link of that. So that will be
Mm.
one form, almost a simple form of content creation. You didn't create on
Mm-hmm.
ReadOn, but more like to share it to the ReadOn community. That will be supported
Mm.
first. The second thing is like you use ReadOn itself as a blog site. You directly write using the app experience into the web experience. We will also support that. But we want to support in a different way. I did not want to like this will be really exciting project, like something because it's not really exciting for people to use ReadOn as a blog site, right? Because
Yeah.
everybody does that. It's very simple to
Yeah.
just like
Mm.
host a web page which is write content. It's
Mm.
not interesting.
Mm.
We want to do something
Mm.
very interesting. People create content. We want to be a very unique experience for people to write content on ReadOn. Yeah,
And it's also, I think, a good way to monetize for those who are creating blogs when they share
of course.
this and get. Will it be something like they will get royalties or something? Is that the concept that you are thinking, or something else?
Is yeah, both things. First is like what kind of things to write, right? Well, that's the core. Like it's not all about policy, about like economics. It's about what to write. If you just write
Mm.
about your daily life, like you're just writing something, you can do it in other apps. So first
Mm.
we want to guide people to write things
Mm.
actually are important. People who
Mm.
will read. So it's about like first is we want to limit actually the things people will write about. That's the first thing. The
Mm.
second thing is something you
Mm.
have covered is about like loyalty program. It has two loyalty program. First is the creator. The second thing is
Yeah.
who actually loves your content, will actually
Mm.
help you to distribute your content. So all
Mm.
they can be seen as a vote, people who vote your content, something like that. So it
Mm.
has like a series of things we need to build.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So the next question I have is if I will just quickly share again the app. As you can see here, guys, on the app, these are the existing topics that you can see from the app. So we have like Vitalik Butyrene, Bitcoin, DAO. My question is, will you be adding more topics in the app? And second question is, will they all be related to just crypto? Although you've already discussed the phase one, phase two, but like within the next 1 to 2 months or 3 months, are you planning to add more topics aside from the major ones that we can currently see, as you can see from the app?
Yeah. So I think right now, like so to answer the question two phase, in the next maybe 2 or 3 months, we still plan to focus on the crypto, the bigger topic, the crypto, and we will
Mm-hmm.
add some general games and GameFi's. That will be some of the games is not on the crypto world. That will have some like that part will cover some topics which are not related to crypto. But in general, like
Mm.
most topic will be related to the games, Web3, crypto, technology, AI, that kind of area. So that is a bigger
Mm-hmm.
one. But if you see our current topics, most of the topics are actually big topics, right? So
Yeah.
we want to. The next thing is we want to add more like the granularity of to the topics that is on the projects. So so a lot of people using like looking at the news for different NFT project on the game project or like the public chain projects. We want to add a more like smaller topics we want to add experience, how we want to support people to want to know something about. For example, you are a GameFi, you are a user of one GameFi project. You want to use ReadOn to gather first-hand information about that project. We want to solve this use case. So to answer your question, first, we will still limit ourselves in the bigger crypto like world in this topic area in the next like maybe two to 6 months. But we will add more details to the topics, to the different topics, just to the narrative for that.
Sure. Just a quick follow-up on this question. As we see on the app, how do you select the topic within the topic to post? Let's say under
Mhm.
let's share again the screen so we can have a specific example. So let's say here I click the topic under, let's say, hackers.
Yes.
So how will, is there someone in your team who determines like this is the one from because I see you have different sources, Coindesk,
Yes.
Bitcoin.com. Are they just automatically linked, or someone is filtering out all this topic that is coming out from the app?
Okay. So currently, for all its content, the label is determined automatically by the language by an algorithm. So we use a
Mm-hmm.
natural language processing technology and machine learning to automatically to detect if this article is about a certain topic. So then we just
Mm-hmm.
attach this label to that. This is what we're doing right now. But after we enable users to directly create the content, and the users will have a right to add tags or add topics to their content.
Okay, cool. Now, we're still on the app. The next question is, I'm already on the third part, which is the assets and wallet.
Yes.
As I can see here, you're using the Arbitrum chain. So
Yes.
is this already working? Say, if I want to transfer a token into my wallet, will it show here already in my wallet, or it's still not working?
It's working. You can tell. But,
Okay. All right.
we have not supported the transfer out function. It's already there. It's just like we
Mm.
don't want people to transfer money in because like we don't have a use case for that wallet yet.
Yep.
So, but it's a
Yep.
fully functional wallet and it's a safe wallet. We don't even store. So we don't tell the details about the wallet here in the app. You can just like you don't see what kind of wallet is in that. But we actually we're
Okay.
using this service called like Particle. Particle is another company, and they were
Mm-mm.
using NFC technology. So there is
Mm-hmm.
not a single seed phrase or the secret key about
Mm-hmm.
your account. We didn't even store in the
Mm-mm.
app. There's nothing stored. Like
Yeah.
your account is super safe with us. So they use
Mm.
the MPC technology to make sure like your money is safe for that. So we're going to heavily use it for the coming use cases, but because we don't have the assets like enable red, so we didn't like show this function yet. But if you
Sure.
transfer some ETH to that, it will actually show up.
Okay. Cool. It's just that there's no we have deposit, but if you want to pull it out, there's no option yet to transfer it out.
Um, there is a backend API for that, right? You can log
Mm.
into other particle. You can log into the other particle like sites to do that, but we
Mm.
didn't have that UI enabled in our app right now. But it will be coming soon.
Yeah, sure. So if we go to the ascent, so how do we get just for the newbies, how do we get the points and the token read? For me, I know
Yep.
because if we go here, there are daily tasks that you need to do, like
Mhm.
share one article, read for 10 minutes, then you comment two articles. So this one is straightforward. As long as you do this daily task, you're all right. But how about the points? What's the difference between the points and the token in the app?
Yeah. So in our original design, if you use our alpha version of the app, there is no concept of points. We directly grant
True.
users with read tokens, and user
Yeah.
can like use read tokens to mint NFT and do all sorts of things. And after we decide to release the public beta version, and we didn't
Mm.
think like it's a good timing that we should release read tokens right now, And but what we want to do, we still want to give a record for people who actually contribute to our community using our app, have some reward. So we're using the point system. So the only difference between the points and read is points not transferable. You can earn it. You were seeing a very common release, probably it should be like sometime in the next week. There's a one major release is you can redeem a read on like NFT. It's not directly basically buy an NFT, but we have a game design to that. Basically, the idea is you can get NFTs from the points. It's similar to the concept that you can get NFT from read tokens. It's similar concept. It's just we don't want the people to trade the points. The reason for that is we have like studied the ecosystem of the ReadON design very carefully, and we think it will be only be ready or mature, or the system will be stable if we have the full function ready. The full function, including people to create content, people vote on the content, like all sorts of things should be ready. And that is good timing for us to release an NFT and the read tokens, and tokenomics will work by itself. But we're not at that stage yet. And we want to be responsible for our investors. Like all of users are investors to some extent. So one responsible for that. So we don't release the NFT selling, release the TGE of the read tokens yet. So yeah, that's the reason we are doing the points right now. So to be short, you can based on all the just like the channel just mentioned, you can finish the task like doing the checkings, like playing with our app to earn points right now. And we're going to provide a function for people to get NFTs directly from the points. You can also get some vouchers to directly get read tokens from the points as well. But these vouchers will be tradable, but these vouchers can only be redeemed to read after the TGE of the read token.
Okay, cool. And I noticed because I've used the alpha before, and then now it's the beta stage.
Yes.
When will be the next stage, and will there be a transition or difference again? Because I think in the alpha stage we were able to use a kato, a
Yes.
cat looking like NFT to earn points and level it up. Now in beta, you've changed it and you make it like again the point system where you can do daily quest and do all these different tasks from the app, and then eventually you will read the token. So what's the next one after this? Will you call it like letter C? And what will be the new changes that you will be implementing, and how soon will that be?
Yeah. So so as I mentioned, like the reason we didn't release read tokens and we didn't sell like the NFT right now is we don't think the app is mature. All the creation, the voting part is not there yet. So we will release that functions once we have built up the creation parts. That's the most important thing, like the content creation and the content voting. So after we have released that, and we see the community is mature, like we know how to, we have a very clear product design for the growth of the product. And that's the time we will release NFT selling and the read. So and there's something you are seeing in the app about like you are committing NFTs to cost the read, everything about the alpha stage. That we will show up at that stage. Okay, and
Oh,
what's the time for that? I think it will be somewhere around like 3 to 6 months. Yeah, this is the current plan. And
okay, cool.
yes, I hope that answer your question. And and
Yeah,
one thing,
sure.
like people still love our NFTs, and you will see our NFT will get a chance to have a free mint NFT pretty soon. Just like as I mentioned, the next release is somewhere on the next week. So we
Yep.
will have the function for you to exchange like the beta box and just get an NFT as a free mint.
Yeah, sure. So maybe one of the most interesting part that everyone will wanna know is how do you detect if there's a cheating in the app, because we don't know if some people are just scrolling or it could happen. So how does the app or how does the team cope with that kind of cheating?
Yeah, it's a good thing. Something we have been working from day one. There are two. directions for the solutions. One is on the technical side, the other is on the product feature solution. So right now we can detect the environment of the machines, like some of the iOS, the phone is prison break. Some of the Android phone, the people get the root access for that, and some of the
Mm.
users, some app is running under the simulator apps. So we can detect all of that, and that will give us like that's the first thing. The second thing is all of the API calls direct from the app is encrypted. Like no one can actually directly find our API endpoint and directly call the API to do all the hack things. So all of this is on the technical side. We were going to do that. And the other thing is like we're using a pattern recognition model on the backend. So on your scrolling, if people are using like a simulator or people are just fake scrolling, they will have some patterns. For example, all their intermediate for the timing for the scroll is the same. All their space, or the distance for the scrolling is the same. So it kinds of all of the patterns for that. But we'll use a pattern recognition model on the backend to detect if someone's actually doing like the fake scrolling of that. So that is something already there, but we have detect like about like 3% of users right now are having this kind of issues. They're either like the machine, their device is rooted or prison break, or they're using under simulator, all this kind of all kind of stuff. They're about 3% of users right now. Um, we didn't notify them. We didn't tell them, hey, we have spotted you are a spamming user. We didn't notify them yet because if once we let them know, they will know how to fight against us, right?
Okay.
So we don't want to like tell them directly what you're doing. We have detect that it will be banned, but we just let them be until one day like they want to cash out or selling or something to do something harmful for the community. We will let them know your account is suspended. You cannot do that. Yeah, this is our strategy
Okay.
for the technical side.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
And
but if you yeah, go ahead.
yeah, and speaking of reading, because before I know in the alpha stage, there's like properties of the NFT where it
Yes.
detects your speed, I think, or your the way that you're scrolling. So does it affect the token or the points that you will have if I read faster or if I scroll faster or slower, or how does it work in terms of the timing of the reading? Because obviously different people have different reading speed, assuming we're assuming here that people are really honest and reading the items, the
Yeah.
articles.
Cool. So we want to give people a design that don't you don't have to stretch yourself. You don't want to worry if I read too much, too slow, or too quickly. It will not work. So our algorithm is simple. Like if you are reading, we will use the time you spend in the reading parts to calculate the
Mm.
points, to calculate the reward, everything. So everything will be calculated based on the time when you are reading. The only tricky part is how we can tell if you are reading, right? And
Mm.
if you scroll fast or scroll slow, it's fine. Only if you're, we of course there are some gap. For example, if you stay within one page and doesn't do anything, and it doesn't kind of, it doesn't make sense for us to think you are still reading the same page, only like a few words, then we'll stop
Mm.
counting that you are reading. So if you're just reading a
Mm.
normal um, pattern or normal style, and you don't have to worry about it.
Okay, cool. So, in terms of the daily task, will it continue to change over like every week, or the task will remain on the app? Because usually I see something similar, like share, read 10 minutes. So, do you plan to change it, or it will be permanent like that while the new update is not yet around?
Yeah, our design is we have a pool of daily quest that including reading, including trying all kinds of features the app provided. We have a quiz, right? If you see that there's a quiz system,
Yep,
like by at
the
the
new
end of each
ones. Yeah,
article, we were adding like the
yeah.
quiz task into the daily thing. So we have a pool of daily quest, and every day each user will like randomly draw three tasks from the pool. So we were
Yeah.
keeping adding new quests to keeping adding interesting things into the poll based on the features we have developed in the app. So you don't have to repeat the same thing every day.
Yeah, sure. And I noticed, I think the read token is not yet listed in any DEX or SEX. So, what's the plan and the reason behind this? Will you be planning to do your own, or are you just waiting for the app to finish in its full potential? Or what's the plan in terms of the listing of the token?
Yeah. So for the read token, which is the utility token in the app, we will list it in a DEX environment. And just as I mentioned earlier, it will have the same. So it will be exactly the same time when we do the NFT selling, because people want to earn from what the NFT they buy with us. So it will be exactly the same time when we sell the when we do the NFT initial sell. Um, as mentioned, like the timing would be like 3 to 6 months from today, right now. This is a planning, but I cannot promise that anything could change. We want it to be like ReadON to be a very like a long live like a project, not just a short project, a short term project. And yes, so I hope for our governance token, I think we will only list our governance token as a first release in a sex environment.
Mhm. Okay, cool. And speaking of plan, what will be the roadmap for the next, like say, 3 months? What will be the upcoming changes that will be expected by the user? Just the major ones that you can think will be really coming soon, and what will be the major ones that you think will be coming later part of the year? Just the major highlights that you think will be coming soon.
Sure. First one, we as I mentioned, like we will have the NFT with point system. So people are going to redeem points, redeem NFTs from their points, and we have designed a NFT merge things. You directly get the parts from the box we provided. You can exchange your points to get a box. You can when you open the box, you will have some randomly parts of the NFTs. If you're lucky enough, you can like put together a different parts you want single NFTs, and that is a system we're going to release in January. We'll finish everything by the early February, something like that. That will be one thing. The other thing
Mhm.
is about the content curation and voting. Like if you see the content app is order the ranking of the content is something by our backend algorithm directly. It's like a black box algorithm. We're trying to optimize that, but we don't think it's the good version for Web3 community. So we want our users to directly jump into the process to rank the content like for the community. And we will release like a token reward system. The tokenomics we have listed in our white paper about how we're going to do the content. We will implement the content voting and curation parts. That will be the next big thing. And in the meantime, we will enable users to directly share links. I think it should be good to the community. So we for that, because as I mentioned, like we don't want ReadON to be another boring site for people to write blogs. So we were
Yes.
not open the directly write create content on ReadON as a first stage. But there's already
Mhm.
a lot of apps there, Medium, Mira. So it's okay for people to write things on there and just like share the links directly on ReadON. So
Yeah.
that's one version of content creation we're going to implement for ReadON.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
So
And maybe for those who will be future investors of this project, I think one of the thing that we usually like to know early on is what will be the plan for burning the utility tokens, because
ah,
obviously all utility tokens keeps inflating and just being earned and sold. What will be the future plans? So how do we deal with that?
yeah, it's something we have to think about on day one. So with an NFT system for people who want to invest in NFT, both on the minting a new NFT or upgrade the NFT, the users will need to burn REIT tokens to do that. So that will be the one major sources for the NFT burning. And on the other hand, we are working with different like apps. Sorry, we're different working with different projects for that. They were going to have some places we're going to market their apps, and all the incomes we get from this like a third party partners as a like a advertisement income, we will use it to buy out the READ tokens we have released to support the value as well.
Yeah, cool. And speaking of third party, I'll just quickly share the screen again just for everyone who will view this recording will be able to see. I noticed in your Discord server, you're partnering a lot with different NFT projects and you're doing a lot of giveaways in the Discord server for different NFT projects. How my question is, how do you select them? Because obviously, as of the moment, there's a lot of individuals who are trying to create and build different projects. How do you choose your partnership?
Yeah, we actually do it in a different. This is there are partnership from different sources. One major source is actually recommended directly by our community. So some people, some of like OGs, some of like the mod just reach to us. Hey, I know the guys from some other project. They want to work with ReadON to see how we can collab, and it works. Of course, like if we get some recommendation by our community members, they actually show that there's some. It shows some of the quality of the projects, and we will review some of the things we care about. The things we care about is like there's a lot of like a fake or spamming project all around like the internet, like around the Twitter. So we want to deal with first, make sure like all this like quality, the standard, meet our standard for the quality to the project. It meets that and it works. This is kind of the one major sources on that. The other one is we choose a community thing we can collab, not just on some giveaway, but we can collab on the features of the project, features of the apps. For example, like on the early, I think on the October or November last year, we have a lot of giveaway with like OKX KuCoin with different like sex. Because at that time we were planning our NFT selling and all this kind of stuff, and we want to feel like the power of the community of that different sex, and that's why we do the giveaway or collab with that. And we have a very good like collaboration project or partners is on the RWeave community, because our content is hosted on RWeave. They give us a lot of technology on the technical support on that. So if the app, the features, the technology can help each other in some way, we will love to collab as well. And we actually are for one of the few users to support the things on the Cyber Connect, both on the Link 3 and on some of their early adoption on their technologies, because like we think there are a very good social channel on the technology part. So yeah, that is something. First is recommended by our communities. We were evaluate the quality, and if it's great, it's great. The second thing is we're based on how we can collab on the app features part, on the technology part, and we will choose the partners.
Yeah, sure. And we're gearing toward the ends of the interview, guys. Maybe one of the last questions will be, what's your plan in terms of mass adoption? How will you market the product?
Yeah. So if you I've looked at the backend like some of user populations. There are around 40% of them are the Japanese community, 30 to 40% of them are Chinese community, and 20, I think it's more than 20% are from different countries in Southeast Asia, Europe, some other parts of countries. That's fine. I think I love organic growth right now. And if we really want to have a mass adoption or a big number increase in that, we will definitely need to focus on some other countries. For example, we will do more on the Southeast Asia. We will support more users from the Southeast Asia, and we will do specific some of the campaigns on the user adoption, focusing on the Southeast Asia users of Southeast countries. That will coming pretty soon. We have already some of the campaign decided already, and that will be one thing. The other thing is we think like the English community, both on the Europe and US, is something we haven't do more work on that. We spend more time on the marketing and the community growth on the English community as well.
Sure, sure. And this will be the last question. Any final message to all our followers and to all future people who will be watching this replay of this video?
Sure, it's really awesome to be here. I think a good product just speak for itself by its community, and we are a team with extended experience of content and social products, and we know how the growth works as as a consumer facing app. So we want to build a showcase that a Web3 app can be useful apart from its financial utility and can have a large DAU as a Web2 app does. I think it's a very ambitious goal, and we believe that
Mm.
content related applications should be the best shot here to achieve this goal. So that's why this is our dream and why we build ReadON. And I hope we can build an app that every people love. It's not just you can earn, but something
Mm.
you actually use every day.
Sure. All right. I want to thank Troy from ReadON for showcasing and sparing his precious time for me here to showcase this
Thank you, Janet.
project.
Thank you
Uh,
for this.
no worries. And guys, please support this app. As I said many times, always do your own research. Me personally, I had been trying and using this app. First, again, it's different from the other NFT project that I've been using. Second, again, this is a good motivation and for us to dig deeper and read more. Because for me personally, I'm not a bookworm or I don't read a lot, but using this app, I like the topics because I'm into crypto and I want to feature different projects. I want to be updated with what's going on in the crypto world. So for me, this is a very good way to, educate myself. And at the same time, number three is we gain these tokens that hopefully in the near future, I know this is a bit long term in the making, but I think this will be one of the projects that will really do well. And yeah, try it out, guys. I'll be posting the link of the Discord server of ReadON, and at the same time my invite link if you want to use it. It's already available from the iOS and the Android app, so anyone can just try it. If you will have more questions, please feel free to go to their Discord server. The moderators there are very fast. Once you ask something, they reply straight away. So I guess that's one thing that I really like with this project, because I've said early on I've been using it since the alpha stage, so possibly 2 to 3 months. So I know that this is something good. And also for those who are keen to do new projects, they have a lot of collaborations with other NFT projects as well. So again, the best way to go is through their Discord server, and just make sure to research all of them before you invest or anything. Thank you so much, guys. Please don't forget to subscribe if you're new to my channel, and please share this video as well to everyone who you think deserves to have this kind of project. Thank you, Troy, and until
Thank
next
you.
time.
Bye,
Bye all.
everyone.